So good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of The Bandwidth. I'm your host, Rosie. Some real quick housekeeping items. If this is your first time with us, we ask that you comment, be a part of the conversation. So if you have any questions, put it down in the chat, and we will get to your questions during the conversation, or we'll save some for later. So definitely engage with us. If you are not subscribed to our channel, make sure that you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and click the thumbs up. That will help us out a great deal. At the end, we want you to comment your biggest takeaway from this live. Also, if you feel like it, share it with one person that you know that will benefit from this conversation. And also follow us on IG, Faulkner_Rosie. And if you are ready to go live, please sign up. It will be in the description box for my 3 must-have things that you need to go live. So that will be in the description box. So let's dive into tonight's conversation. So tonight we are talking about videographers. So the title is Videographer's Guide to Showing Up on Camera. We know that sometimes you need a little help. You don't always want to do it yourself, and you need some guidance of someone. So we have Trey here. This is actually my videographer, so I'm so excited to have this conversation with him and share some of our little secrets and our talks that we usually do. So welcome, Trey, to the Bandwidth.
Thank you for having me, Rosie. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes. So I know you are a videographer, a photographer, and a content creator, but tell us a little bit more about you.
Well, get started. My name is Trey, of course. I'm the CEO of Sharp Eye Productions. I'm a videographer and photographer. I'm a content creator where I help people brand whatever it is that they're doing, whether it be their business, if they're a rapper, they're artists, or if they, have a fashion blog like you do. You know what I'm saying? So I provide, content for people and, make it look professional. I've actually been doing this since about 2015. I got started recording my school's basketball game at Allegheny College in Maryland. And that's when I fell in love with, creating content. So I just kept it rolling, and I'm at the point that I am now.
So let's dive right in. So what's the value of having or hiring a videographer?
There's definitely a lot of value to that. Number one, it could take the stress off of you as a person. It could take the stress off of you as a person. Sorry, I got tongue-tied. It could take the stress off a person. Number two, we're able to bring your vision to life. So you tell us what exactly it is that you may need, and we'll figure out and bring the pieces together and, just make your life easier and bring your vision to life. That's actually my motto.
Okay. And do you find that most people know what they want, or do you have to dive in and have a consultation to pull it out of them?
Well, one of the things that I do is I have a consultation regardless, so that I can not only connect with the person and get to know who they are, but also to pull it out of them, like what is it that they're looking for, and we'll dialogue and connect even more and come up with some ideas and concepts to, make the best out of the project.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about our little interaction. So you have helped me with In Pursuit of Fashion, Food, and Fun, or most recently, that's still with that project and the opening. Right. So sometimes you know what you want, but for that second opening, I came to you, I was like, look, I'm stuck.
Definitely. And here's the crazy part. The first, we was thinking about the first one, me and you, we was actually sitting in the car, literally after shooting some B-roll for the show. And we were talking about ideas. You showed me what it is that you want. I said, boom, I got it. I know exactly what it is I can do, but I didn't write it down. So it's dang, I gotta dig deep in the back of my memory to try to remember what it is that the vision that I had for it, to make it come alive for you. I didn't remember it off the top of my head, but I had to do some thinking and jot some notes down, and it came back to me. So
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's just like, because sometimes people don't know. So we need help of the, creative. We may be creative, but we get stuck because we're just
Right.
like, I don't know what to do. Like I said, for the first one, I knew what I wanted. But it was like the second one. And so we had a powwow and came up with it. And see, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you just need other people. And so that's why it's so important to like kind of like have a budget. It's hard when you're first starting out and you're a team of one and you really don't have a budget. But it's also good to, like you said, hire a videographer, have that person that could give you some insight and get you to where you need to be. So
Absolutely, definitely. Having a even for myself, I'm a videographer right now. I'm a one-man show. If I have to, I will have to, subcontract another videographer. I already know who my go-to is. If you don't, he know who I'm talking about. My man Hillby Studios. But like it definitely can take the stress off of me too, depending on how big a project is. I actually have one coming up in April, within the next week or so that me and Hillby are collaborating on. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait for y'all to see it. So,
all right, the plug. I'll be looking out.
definitely.
So now, as far as your target audience, so as you know, when I brought my whole stuff to you,
Right.
I was like, my target audience is women over 40. So I know who I'm talking to, what type of graphics I made. Sometimes I'll be like, nah, this is not for. But how is it important to know your target demographic?
Well, it's very important to know your target demographic. Number one, like if we put this in a videographer's term, right? Suppose I want to make content. I want to create a video or something, right? The number one thing is who am I going to target? That would depend on what it is that you're filming about. What is the story that you're trying to develop? So I can give you an example. Suppose I'm recording a commercial for Jordans, right? I'm gonna want to target sneakerheads and fashion lovers. That will be my target audience right there. So I have to make it as creative as possible and also look at examples to see what it is stuff that they like. Now, if I can attract other people, that is cool. But I know I want to attract sneakerheads.
Mhm. And I guess the same is for the environment as well, because you run the gamut. You do
Right.
music videos all the way down to like fashion and everything in between.
Yeah.
Church, I know you do that too.
Yep.
So targeting the right environment, how do you switch gears with your various clients so effortlessly?
So, as far as the environment, since I'm well rounded with music videos, I'm well rounded with church related stuff, I'm well rounded with projects like yours. It just really helps my creativity. So I'm able to think fast and know exactly what it is I need, which makes me so versatile. The environment will really help tell a story. So if I'm shooting a movie about McDonald's or something like that, I'm gonna want to have a restaurant type setup. I'm not gonna go to a workout gym and shoot that video, right? So, you know, just little things like that. I know that sounds simple and may sound corny, but that's the best example. And keep it simple for the people that's watching that I can give.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And again, a personal story for me and you, like the first time I shot with you was for like the opening for Style Access.
Right.
And I didn't know where I wanted to go. I just knew what I wanted. I kind of like told you like the various outfits that I wanted to do.
Right.
And then what we ended up, for the people that are local, we're based out of, DC, DMV area. We
Right.
ended up down Georgetown. So what made you pick that point, that location for that shoot?
Well, I feel like the Georgetown environment is very fancy, like yourself. It's
Mhm.
upbeat,
Thank
uplifting, it's uplifting, and I just
you.
felt that I just felt that it'd be a great environment to shoot that particular commercial. Not commercial, the intro, simply because there's a nice little high rise there. You have buildings in the background and then a bridge of water. It gives the viewer something to look at. That's very important, making sure the background looks nice behind the subject. I
Yeah.
couldn't just do it in anywhere, you know what I'm saying? But I just felt in my spirit that that would be the proper environment to go to.
So do you find yourself always scouting out areas when you're just roaming or whatever, so you can have that for your clients?
Yep. Every time I drive, I'm in my car, I'm just thinking about, okay, location scouting. It's like, we're in the DMV. I shoot for, I work with a lot of people. So it's like locations, sometimes you see that everybody may shoot at the same kind of locations, right? But it depends on whoever the director is to make it look different and more appealing. Like, for example, I can use my backyard for a scene, for anything, but what am I using it for? What's the purpose for it? Everything, every shot, every movie, every film needs to have a purpose and an intention. So
Yeah.
depending on what kind of location I'm using, it has to be intentional.
Mhm. Yeah, and then will that be the same for like multiple locations? Because I know we kind of like went, I mean, we didn't have to get in the car. I know sometimes you do have to go, and travel to different locations, but I know we shot on like, the little bridge or whatever you call it. And then we went down to closer to the water. So is that difficult to navigate, or is just like planning?
I'm so glad you said planning. Pre-production is everything. Will save you time on shoot day. I cannot stress enough how important pre-production is, how important it is to me, and it saved me a ton of time and a lot of stress. When I first started out, I didn't really give a care about pre-production. I just thought like, hey, I can go out here and shoot anything, any kind of way. There's a purpose for pre-production. Number one, it has to feel right unto you. It has to look right, because that's going to be your name on the project. You can't put anything out that's garbage. So planning is everything. You can't write a paper. You can't write a good paper without an outline. It's just not going to work.
Yeah. And that is so true with me. I always want to have my rundown together and we work together, and it just
All the
helps
time.
because yeah.
7:30, we're here. 8 o'clock, we're there. 10
Exactly.
break. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that.
Yeah, and I just think that's so important to be organized. And I don't know, like I learned that because I actually took a class because I knew nothing about this. So I wanted to educate myself, and that's what they taught us, because if you did, I can't even imagine the chaos if you don't have anything planned out or have a rundown. That's just like crazy. Yeah.
It can also relate to real life too. You got to plan out your day, know what it is that you're doing, especially if if it's people like us, we're business people. We got to make sure everything is prioritized from A to Z.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah. And so working with your clients, like I remember we had this conversation how you like, because we could stay on the phone for like an hour just
right.
talking, trying to figure it out. And I'd be like, what, Trey, it's 12 o'clock a.m. I'm going to bed. But it's just like, how do you get that connection, or do you have that connection with your client? And is it important?
Here's the thing. Most of my clients are people that I already know. So I already have a connection and a relationship with them. The only difference is we're doing business. Now, if it's somebody that I don't know, I would have to build that relationship with them. I have to be around them long enough, have a meeting with them, sit down and talk to them like regular people. I'm not about to, sit here and, not be myself. I'm not gonna be authentic. You know what I mean? So it's just being transparent and, authentic. That's what people see. And that'll make them want to, be around you more and support you and allow you to work with them.
Yeah. And how do you loosen people up? Because we're attracting people that are trying to go live for the first time. So how do you get them out of being scared and loose?
Oh man. See, here's the thing. I have a goofy personality. I've actually been in a situation where my client was very shy of the camera. So like we were doing a photo shoot, right? And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so shy. So I said, you know what, it just clicked. I said, all right, just be goofy for a couple minutes. She started chuckling, laughing. I just got and voila.
Yeah.
Magic happened. So it's just you just gotta know your strengths. Like if you're a goofy person, use that to your advantage. Make conversation. That's how I do. That's how I do it. I can't speak for everybody else though. That's me. That's how I do it. It works every time.
Mm-hmm. And that's good because like it's kind of like a distraction because I remember when I first started and not even video, just taking pictures is it's hard. It really is hard because you don't know how to smile or because I don't know, and you just get in your head. And the same thing for the video. Like so many women that I talk to, they don't like the sound of their voice, they don't like their appearance. And my whole thing, and I say it all the time to like I'm blue in the face, like fix the things that you can, like write down the things that you want to fix. If it's losing weight, if it's fixing your nose, whatever it is. And then the other side, write down the things that you can't change and you're going to accept, and then work on those things because I just want my whole goal is to get women to use their voice. I just think it's so powerful. Video is not going away, and you need to promote your brands. You just need to go out your own way.
It's a whole pandemic out here.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to see what it is that you're doing. We can't be around each other no more.
Yeah.
So you're going to be forced to display what it is on social media. Everybody's been on social media for a while now, right? Just think about, back in the old days, right? We didn't have social media. People had to be on foot. They had to actually interact with people, right? So now the tables have turned. Luckily, we were able to experience a time where we're actually able to be amongst others versus when we're not, to promote our stuff. So it could definitely be a change for those who aren't necessarily used to being in front of a camera, used to doing things in a certain way. But it's certainly different for me because I like to be amongst a crowd of people, whenever I feel like it. But I can't do that now because of COVID and all that. So
yeah.
It's just all about adapting and making the best of what you have.
Yeah. And speaking of that, what would you suggest someone do if they're a newbie and starting out? How would you suggest they do it? I suggest like on their phone, but would you suggest them starting out on the phone, purchasing a camera? What would you suggest?
Well, I use myself as an example, right? I remember my mother had gave me a birthday present. It was a little camcorder, and I just started to mess around with it, record everything around my house, record myself. Never put anything out on YouTube or media because I didn't know nothing about that at a young age. But it's just getting a feel and a sense of what it is that you want to do. What kind of what kind of content do you want to provide for the people out there? And as far as starting out with a camera or phone, let me tell you something. A cell phone is very beneficial. I see Prince Donnell do it all the time. This man does not have a camera, yet he runs a big jumping jack tax business. All his content is fire. So it depends on the level you want to take it. If you just want to, for example, if you want to provide people with inspiration every single day, we're talking to them, for example, I use my last name, Sharp Talk, for a minute or so, encourage somebody that you don't need to invest into a camera for that. Mm-hmm. You have your phone. Now, if you're looking to take it to a higher scale on a professional level, then you would need to invest into a beginner camera, which would be like a Canon M50 or a Canon T7i. Nothing, too crazy and expensive. Okay. So it just depends on the, what you're trying to do.
Yeah, because I just don't like people to get discouraged. You know what I'm saying? I advise people to use the simplest things. You know what I'm saying? You just need 3 things to really get started. Everybody has a phone. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, they're making these phones
crazy.
Yes.
Man, 3 cameras. That's a wide, medium, and a close-up. I gotta spend at least at the bare minimum $300 per lens. Think about that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you don't plan to, take it in the route to become a professional videographer or something like that, keep your costs low. Use your cell phone if you can, or if you will.
Yeah.
It's always a way around stuff. And even with your cell phone, you can still get great audio off of that too if you plug in a microphone and record yourself talk.
And I'm glad you said that because you just put me on to something the other day.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. The lavalier microphone for the voiceover. Here's
Yeah.
the thing: people who are not in our field would not know. They're like, "Damn, this sounds really, really good. Oh my gosh!"
And that's another good tip for collaboration. You know what I'm saying? Because if I wasn't talking to you or we wasn't talking about, what we were doing, it would have never came up, or just researching on YouTube or whatever, because you never know what could help you and take, and it was like, what, $20 or something like it was so
Only like $20.
yeah.
Only $20, literally.
And changes the game. You know what I'm saying?
I use those. I use that now because I'm working with one of my clients. Like, where he's about to start his YouTube channel. I'll be going to shoot with him tomorrow. So I'll have that lavalier microphone plugged into my Rode Wireless Go transmitter and receiver. So I mean, like, versus me spending about $80 for omnidirectional microphone. They have one on Amazon for a cheaper price, which is $20. That gives me the same exact quality.
And that's what I want to give, like, those type of tips to the newbies, because I mean, hopefully they will stick with it. My goal is to get them live, and I also want them to flourish, but you don't need to be breaking the bank when you first start. You know what I'm saying? These simple things, your phone, the lavalier mic, plus some lights, you pretty much good to go. You know what I'm saying? Figure out what platform you want to use, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, and you got it. Figure out your content, and there you go.
That's all it is right there. I started out with a Canon T5. I still use that today for my photography, but nobody would know that because I know how to use it. I become one with it. You have to know it like the back of your hand, and you can make the best use of it.
Yeah. And so how important is it to know your budget when you want to work with a videographer?
It's very important to know your budget. Depending on the height of the production, you got to factor in at least about 2 to 3 things. The cost of the videographer, the cost of whatever it is you're going to need, and then say if you might need to hire actors or so, right? So I've actually done a few productions where I had to explain to the client, like, hey, this is how much it's going to cost you to have me shoot and put your video together. Now, there are other costs that I will not pocket, such as equipment and location, right? So depending on the vision that I have, I might need to I might need to rent out a videography studio so that we can get the best quality and the shots that we need for a project. Music videos, for example. A lot of people use, studio, like big, warehouse studio spaces to create dope music videos and stuff. And they bring in props and lighting, vehicles, backup dancers, all that kind of stuff. And just make the atmosphere, they turn the atmosphere into whatever it is that they see and they want to make it creative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So budget is very, very important. Just like our human lives, we need to budget what we're spending on phone bill, rent, car note. So.
No, I agree. Knowing your budget is very important because, like you said, you may have some additional things that you may not have thought of once you incorporate the videographer. Absolutely. Or even if you're on your own, you may have things to, like you said, put on your radar that you need to have for the production. So
absolutely, it's very important. I've been in those situations at least all the time, even for myself when I do my YouTube. So I may have to purchase something on Amazon to help, aid the story that I'm trying to pitch to my viewers.
Yeah. So do you have any last tips that you want to leave with us?
Let me think on that. Trying to think. Any last tips? One thing I will say, man, if y'all inspired, to start something, whether it be a podcast, a YouTube channel, go for it. Don't let the negativity seep into your mind of I can't do it because you may not be, on the level that somebody else is on. We all had to start from somewhere. We gotta build we gotta take the stairs. because it's progress. So just stick to it. Dream big, plan your attack, and execute. Shout out
And
to
what,
Kevin.
yeah. And one more thing I forgot to ask you about editing. Like, what's a good software, or what would you suggest for people to use for like newbies to edit their content?
Well, for me, I was a newbie at once. I would recommend Adobe Premiere Pro. If you go to adobe.com/creative cloud, they have a list of different editing softwares, not only for video, but they have some for photo, which is Adobe Photoshop for photo manipulation, Adobe Lightroom, as well for photo editing, and then other apps for for audio editing too, like Adobe Audition. So they got like a wide range of stuff in there for creators. So videographers, photographers, and even audio engineers too.
Yeah,
So I would
and that's
recommend
what I
Adobe.
started on too.
Yeah,
I started on Adobe.
for real, yeah, definitely, yeah. Adobe is dope. I've stuck with it. I know they have they got some. They have other editing softwares out here like DaVinci Resolve, and then Final Cut Pro. But I just want to stick to my guns and use what I'm already accustomed to. So,
yeah. And I know they have some for your phones, like you could do something
iMovie.
quick in iMovie or something like that. So
right, Adobe on your phone too. Adobe Premiere Pro Rush as well is another good one for your cell phone if you edit it on the go.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, you done told me. I didn't know they had that.
I'm gonna send it to you when we get off here.
Okay, cool. So if you pay for the whole subscription, like the bundle with everything, you get that too, or is that something different?
Yeah,
Like,
that's included. Adobe Premiere excuse me, I'm sorry. Adobe Premiere Pro Rush is included in that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, definitely. So the subscription I have, I only pay like $30 a month for it because I have a student account with them. But I think like regular price is like maybe like $50 a month. They also have yearly plans too. So it just really depends on what it is that you want to do. For me, I'm a creator. I'm gonna need all the apps I can get. You know what I'm saying? Graphic designer, for graphic designers too as well. They have Adobe Illustrator. That's where you create logos and stuff. I just wanted to throw that in there for all my graphic designers, if there's any that's watching right now.
And then what's next for you?
What's next for me?
Yeah.
As far as what? For the day?
Not today, but like your career, or what's the big projects that's coming up that you want to share?
Man, I know my man Kev watching right now. We just posted, like I was telling you about the production I'm about to collab with Hillview Studios. There's a video called Thank You that we're about to do next Saturday. It's going to be real dope, and I'm excited for this one. I've been ever since I first heard the song, it's been resonating. I'm like, bro, we need a video for this immediately. So I'm glad that we made a decision to actually finally do it, and I just can't wait to share. We can't wait to share it with you guys.
All right, and how good? And how can people stay connected with you?
Y'all can stay connected with me by following me on Instagram @_sharp eye productions _. I'll spell that out: SHARPEEYEPRODUCTIONS _.
All right, well, thank you, Trey, for coming on.
Appreciate you for having me. I definitely had a lot of fun on it.
Yes. Thank you for sharing your insight. So, as I said in the beginning, if you found this live helpful, please let us know what your biggest takeaway is down in the comment section. Would love to engage with you and keep the conversation going. If you are not subscribed to our channel, please make sure you do. Hit that notification bell and also hit that thumbs up if you like this episode. Follow us on IG, Faulkner_Rosie, if you're not. And if you know one person that could benefit from this, please make sure that you share it with them. And as I said before, if you are ready to go live, in the description box will be a link for my 3 must-have tools to go live. So definitely cop that. That will be there for you. So this is another episode of The Bandwidth. We will be back next week with another great featured guest. So until then, bye-bye.